Welcome to Dash Explore. I'm Sarah, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing our entire 4-day London itinerary with you in just 4 minutes. Well, maybe a little bit more than 4 minutes because I am also going to include our 2 days of travel on either end of our trip. But this is everything we did, start to finish in London, and also keep in mind that we did super minimal planning for this, so there's just a lot of wandering around. So let's jump right into it. So travel day 1 started with us arriving at the airport right around dinner time with enough time to get through security and stop in at the Capital One Lounge. Since we are Capital One Venture X card members, we could get in for free, and we knew that way we could get a quick dinner, and we also got to enjoy some Halloween themed cocktails because we actually flew out on Halloween, which was a super fun thing for the girls because they got to wear their costumes in the airport, and our flight wasn't until 9:45 p.m. that night, so we had plenty of time to just kind of hang out and relax and get our trip started. It was an overnight flight, and there was definitely some sleeping, but not enough. So day 1 started with us landing in Dublin for our layover. We had just enough time for a quick bathroom and snack break and to stretch our legs before we boarded our flight to London. We landed in London right around lunchtime and started our first adventure by navigating the public transportation to get to our Airbnb. Now, we weren't actually able to fully check in, but we could drop off our luggage real quick before heading off to see the sights. Our first stop was to grab some lunch, and of course we had to start off at a pub, which was awesome. Then we walked through the city, seeing so many major landmarks, and made our way towards the London Eye, where we had 4:45 p.m. tickets for a ride. We took our ride on the London Eye, saw all the things, took all the pictures, and it was just a huge hit with the whole group. Then we took a quick walk through the Christmas market, which had just opened that day because we were there November 1st, before heading home to crash and catch up on sleep. All right, day 2 started with us sleeping way in to the point where we had to rush to make our 10:10 a.m. tour for the Tower Bridge. We loved seeing this landmark and learning all about the structure and the history, and of course, walking on the glass floor. Then naturally, we were still running behind, and we had to rush to make our tour for the Tower of London, which was at 11:30 a.m. and we headed right to the crown jewels in there, which was super cool to see. Unfortunately, you could not take videos, but they were very well loved. And then we spent about another hour touring the Tower of London. We didn't really know much about the history, and it was not really something that the girls were into, but it was really cool to see. Next, we found yet another pub for lunch and some authentic English pub fare. Then we spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the city and seeing sights like Trafalgar Square, Piccadilly Circus, and Chinatown before heading back to the Christmas market and enjoying some mulled wine and all the other snacks they had to cap off our night. Day 3 started with us thinking about going to get a traditional English breakfast, but we got overwhelmed with choices and ended up grabbing something quick from a coffee shop. This was the day that we parted ways with my cousin Amy and her son Andrew. They spent the day watching a Premier League soccer game at the Tottenham Hotspurs and then saw The Play That Goes Wrong in the West End. Meanwhile, we headed out to Richmond for the day. We took the underground to the train station, which took us out to Richmond, which was super cool. Again, we are from Richmond, Virginia, so to be in another Richmond was really awesome. We instantly fell in love with a small town, and the fall vibes were incredible. The girls got to run around on the green when we first got there, and it was so nice to just sit and relax for what felt like the first time on this trip. Then we went to the pub where they filmed scenes from Ted Lasso and had a quick snack and a beer. Then it was time to get the girls changed and head over for our tea party. We had a reservation at 144 on the hill, and this experience was incredible. And yes, this restaurant was at the top of a very long hill, so we had worked up an appetite when we arrived. The adults got a complimentary glass of champagne, and we all enjoyed a cup of tea and then ate as much as we possibly could from our 3 tiers of snacks, but it's deceivingly a lot of food and we could not finish it all. Then we knew we needed to start making our way back to the city, so we walked back to town to get to the train station so that we could start to head home. We quickly hopped into the grocery store on our way home and grabbed some things for dinner and had a quick snack dinner before calling it a night. Okay, day 4 was our last day in London, and this day started off very slow for everyone, except for me, because I got up and ran 4 miles through the city, which was honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole trip because I got to see so many awesome things. Once everyone was up and moving, we headed out to see the last few things that we wanted to check off of our list before heading home. We saw Buckingham Palace and even got to see the guards marching around, which was really cool. Then we walked through all of the parks surrounding Buckingham Palace, where we stumbled on a playground that the girls absolutely loved. After the park, we walked through the city and made our way over to Westminster Abbey, which was beautiful to see in person. Amy and Andrew decided to take a quick tour of the Abbey. Meanwhile, we found another pub to grab some lunch. We all met back up and decided to take a double-decker bus tour to check that off of our list as well. And we rode over towards the London Eye, where the Christmas market was located, for one last night of Christmas market adventures before heading home. We perused the market, got some mulled wine, rode the carousel, and then took an Uber boat ride back down the Thames towards the Airbnb. We snuck in one last pub dinner before heading back home for the night to pack up and get one last good night of sleep. And then finally, our last travel day, this was our last morning in London. We spent packing and cleaning everything up before walking towards the train station to make our way to the airport. Our flight was a little bit delayed, so we were able to have time to get some last minute souvenirs and enjoy a quick snack in the airport lounge before flying home. This flight was a very long one, but Haley did so good watching shows and playing on her tablet. I think honestly her mind and body just were so happy to be sitting and zoning out after 4 straight days of sightseeing. Delaney, on the other hand, had a tough time getting settled, but once she was asleep, she got a good 4 to 5 hours of sleep on our ride home. And even though this plane ride was a little rough, we know that we will get home, the time will pass, and all of the memories that we made together were so worth it. So that is a very quick 4-minute overview of what we did while we were in London. So I hope that this helps you kind of see how we spent our time, and maybe if you're planning a trip to London, you'll get some ideas from us as well. So if you enjoyed this video, if you could give it a like, and if you have any other thoughts or suggestions of things we should do if we ever make it back to London, please leave them in the comments below. And if you are enjoying all of our travel content and you want to follow along for more family travel inspiration or family travel tips, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can get notified when we post new videos. And you can also follow us on Instagram at @Explorer. We will catch you in the next one.